Good afternoon. So it's the next day and it's beautiful. So I thought I'd get out the house. I'm on my lunch and come up here to the courts and make this video still on my moving journey, but a little bit on discussing whether or not home ownership is for me. In being in midlife, 50 and still renting. I don't want to say flat out, and I would say flat out that it's not. Um, but I love the flexibility of rent, and I don't want to say that home ownership is overrated, but over the years and seeing the ups and downs with the economy, I work for legal aid, especially since COVID, and but prior to that, the 2008 collapse. But that said, the the foreclosures, the different things, going through the banks, just the issues that I see individuals go through. It seems like more of a headache anymore. But I love the flexibility of rent. If there's an issue, if you can't pay or whatever it may be, get out. It's not going to hurt you as much as a mortgage or something of that nature, for lack of a better way of putting it. But I'm going to pause that there, and I'm going to go back to talk about renting. My first apartment was with my spouse, 1995, and we paid $325 a month. And I was just going back, through the years in my mind, like just the increase, of course, with inflation. But $325, it was a 2-bedroom, one bath. And then shortly after I moved to North Carolina, and we was renting from a couple, they sold it to a realtor, and the realtor increased it to $525. But this was like 1996, but it's still, And then when we was in North Carolina, rent was $550, so it was still less than $1,000. And this again was the 90s. Fast forward to, I'll just say, when I moved out to where I am now, that I'm about to be moving from. But I moved back out here I moved back out here in 2017, and I moved into a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. That 2-bed, 2-bath at the time was just over $1,000. Okay, and then at COVID time, right at the top, when individuals were losing their jobs, because places were closing, and the 3-bed, 2-bath across from me became available because it was just young people doing the roommate things, and they had to give it up because, again, COVID. They was in hospitality for the most part. So we moved into that unit, and I want to say at that time, what was COVID 2020, it was 3.2 out here. It was like 1,200 and something, if I can remember right, 12 something. I stayed in that unit until 2023. So I was in that unit for 3 years, and I only moved out. And actually, rent increases every year. So I want to say I moved out at like 13 something, which is what I'm paying for my 1-bedroom. But the kicker is, the 1-bedroom that I'm in now, in 2017, it was $900 and something. Okay, because I still like held on to all of my like rent papers and what have you for all units. The 3-bedroom, but all the units out here, because of COVID, around 2023, they increased rent across the board by almost $500. 500. So that 3.2 that I moved out of at the 13 something had went up to 18 something. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing this. So I downsized into my one. So yeah, again, it's the flexibility of it all. And when something goes down, like plumbing, electric, whatever it may be, call maintenance. And with home ownership, I've been asked, well, you're a veteran, can't you just get a home, a VA loan? Like, it doesn't work like that. They're conventional loans, just with the, VA, but they work like any other loan. You have to qualify. Like, if it was that easy, you wouldn't see so many homeless vets. But yeah, I was, like I said, just going back, just over the years, and just thinking. I believe, some things really are generational. That's the other thinking, like, you graduate, you go to college, you get a job, et cetera, et cetera, and it's not like that now. And I feel a lot of times too, even with and I have older kids, but out of touch. And I try to keep anymore, I'm trying to learn to keep my fingers on the pulse of what's happening, in the world around me and how it's affecting me. And yeah, home ownership right now is not something that I want to look for. I do want to rent. And again, mainly for, like, the amenities, and being able to, when something goes down, I want to be able to, call someone to, come and fix it, not having to come out of my own pocket, So yeah, that's pretty much it, just the thoughts and just everything. And I'm still, like, super excited. I called Spectrum, and they had me on the phone for over 30 minutes. I spoke to 3 different people, being asked the same thing and no resolve. So I'm like, I will call back, closer to my move out time, to see, what's what with that, or I try to get to the office here, because I've turned in a rental. So let's see what else. I'm still making good progress with getting order and getting things out. While I had the rental, I got a lot of stuff to the storage, and I'm gonna call my friend that I mentioned some months back. He's already ready, and he had the truck, like, real soon, like sooner than what I anticipated, like, to get stuff out. I'm like, no, not yet. So I'm trying to do it maybe in one fell swoop, how I got everything situated, or maybe 2 times, maybe 2 trips, because I do plan on holding on to that storage. A lot of stuff is not coming with me to my new place. I didn't even want to take the furniture if I didn't have to, because my grandbaby, she's got me. I'm ahead of the year, but my grandbaby has had a time with it. So, it is what it is. But I'm going to, really try to get a clean slate, to start from a clean slate with my new place. And I am just truly looking forward to it. And once I'm there, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to start telling my stories before my move, or if I'm going to wait till I'm there, because I like different places, but I have, like, memories. But we shall see, Lord willing. So that's what I have for now. And for anyone that's watched it this far, I appreciate your tuning in and listening, and to the end. And I just a little ramble, but yeah, I appreciate your support. And until next video, bye for now.